This video is specifically for my introverts, my empaths. If you are feeling stuck or paralyzed by the idea of self-promotion, I'm gonna show you how to transform those fears into purpose and confidence. So many empaths, introverts struggle with putting themselves out there. It can feel unnatural, overwhelming, even a little scary. By the end of this video, hopefully, you'll understand why self-promotion feels so hard for you. We're gonna learn how to reframe it as an act of service, and then 4 practical strategies you can use to calm your nerves before sharing your work. And before we get started, guys, I do just wanna be clear that self-promotion isn't about shouting to be heard. That's not really what we're talking about. It's about sharing your light with the people who need it the most. So let's dive in. Let's start actually by unpacking why self-promotion feels so intimidating or even a little gross for some of us. First, fear of judgment, right there at the top. As sensitive souls, we might often worry about what others think about us. Will people think I'm bragging? Will they think I'm a know-it-all? What if no one cares about what I have to say? So these kinds of thoughts can create a cycle of self-doubt that can keep us silent. Second, there is the discomfort of visibility. So for some of those reasons I just shared, stepping into the spotlight can feel overwhelming. And this isn't just about shyness, it's about that deep emotional energy we get of being fully seen and potentially judged. And there's vulnerability in that, right? It can stir up fears of criticism, rejection, or even just the feeling of being misunderstood. And for those of us who tend to absorb the energies and emotions of people around us, just being exposed to a large audience can feel really draining before we've even gotten started. So it's not just about what we're putting out there, it's about what we might receive in return. And that uncertainty can feel a little paralyzing. I super get it. One negative comment on a video that I post can get stuck in my head if I'm not careful. But as we're gonna dive into a little more in a moment, visibility doesn't have to mean being exposed. It just means being seen in a way that feels safe, authentic, and empowering. That's our goal today. So it's not about forcing yourself to shine under the big spotlight. It's about finding that flow, that gentle flow that feels right for you and highlights your gifts. And then third, another top reason we might be a little scared of self-promotion is the fear of rejection. So when we put our work out there, it does feel personal, right? Like if people don't respond, it's easy to internalize that as a reflection of our worth or what people think about us in general. But the important thing to remember, and this is a little bit of a mindset shift, but self-promotion isn't about you. It's about the people you're here to help. So if we can reframe self-promotion as an act of service, it becomes less about seeking attention, which most of us, empaths, introverts, aren't really trying to do, right? And it becomes more about offering solutions. And anyone that's gonna judge you on that is not your ideal client, so we are gonna do our best to not even worry about them. So let's get into that. So instead of viewing self-promotion as selling, we do need to think of it as sharing. Imagine that you have a gift, which I'm quite certain that you do, we all do, a solution that can genuinely help someone improve their life, solve a problem, feel better. Like, shouldn't we let them know about it? I'm going to assume if you're watching this channel, you are a heart-centered business person. You've got these gifts to share. Like, it is in your nature to help and to heal. So we need to get past some of these feelings that we have about putting ourselves out there so that we can do that. When you shift the focus from yourself to your audience, everything changes. You're not asking for their attention, you are offering them value. So I like to use this quick little reframe. Instead of saying, I need to promote my business, my new program, my new coaching service, I'm saying to myself, I'm here to help people who are looking for what I have to offer. So this shift can help reduce pressure and fear that might surround sharing your work. And the more you can lean into very specifically who you are here to help, you're gonna find that gets easier and easier over time. Because when you know exactly who you're speaking to, It stops feeling like you're shouting into the void or having to convince everyone. So that takes a little pressure off, right? Instead, it becomes a heartfelt conversation with a narrow group of people who really need your guidance. For me, niching down to empaths and introverts completely changed the game. And I'm gonna be straight up. If someone leaves a rude comment on a post or a video that I put out there, yes, I'm an empath. I do get a little butthurt, but I know that that's not my ideal client, because I'm working with heart-centered business owners, and someone who is truly heart-centered or highly sensitive and is gonna have that reaction to me wanting to help them or provide them value, not my people. So when you get into that really niche down view of who you are here to help and how you are here to help them, it does take a little bit of that pressure off of reactions that you might get. So every time you share your work, think of it as extending a hand to that one person who's searching for the exact solution that you have. And remember, the people who need you cannot find you if you stay hidden. So sharing your work isn't just about you guys. It is about showing up for these people who need what you have to provide in the exact way that you provide it. So a few grounding practices you can use to help you. I have a few things I like to do to manage that anxiety or that overthinking that comes up when I'm about to put myself out there. First, a very physical thing you can do is ground yourself through breath. Whether you're getting ready to share a post, a video, have a conversation with somebody, take 3 or 4 deep breaths in through your nose, hold it for a count of 3, out through your mouth. This just helps physically calm your nervous system and brings you back into the present moment. And then next up, I like to set an intention. And I'm not trying to get woo-woo here, but before I hit post or start speaking about my work, I do like to say to myself, just even internally, I'm sharing this to help someone who needs it. So this helps to anchor me, and it reminds me of why I'm doing this in the first place. And that takes away a little bit of that fear that I have about hitting record or hitting the post button on my phone. 3, we start small and we work our way up. I don't know where you are in your business or your marketing journey, but you do not have to leap into promoting yourself everywhere to this massive audience right away. You can start by sharing in smaller, safer spaces, like a trusted group that could be online or in person, with your friends, your family. Just get in the habit of sharing what you do and why you do it. And then lastly, I like to create a little ritual around sharing my content. I plan a content day. I have a couple during the week, but it's a time when I'm really committed to my craft, to my services, what I offer, and who I'm doing it for. So I might have like a little special drink beforehand, play some music, light some incense, light a candle. Like I am in that zone. I'm getting outside of my external world, my daily life, and I am tunnel visioning myself into this work. So that's something that just helps me feel calm and at peace and really live in that mission. So guys, this obviously doesn't shift overnight, but we need to get into the practice of shifting our thoughts and our mindset around selling and self-promotion. So I'd like to leave you with a challenge. So just on a piece of paper, right, on your computer, whatever, write down your intentions behind sharing your work. You know, why you do what you do. And if you have never shared this with your audience, I highly recommend sharing this in a post, or even just practice sharing this with people in your world, your business groups, your friend groups, your family. Just get into that habit of living in your purpose. I do have a freebie in the description box below. It's something I use with my storytelling clients just to help them get on track, thinking about their mission statement, their purpose, that value proposition that you have for your client. So you can check that out in the description box below. In the next video in this series, we're gonna take this even further by exploring how to clarify your key messages and signature offers. This is where we're gonna get crystal clear on what you do, who it's for, and why you do it, so that you can connect with the right people. And guys, if you're ready to dive deeper, I'd love to invite you into my Aligned Marketing Academy. So that has everything you need to build confidence and share authentically with your audience. You can learn more about that in the description box below.